This is part 3 and 4 of She is Destined to be Hanged in 1 year. Can her marriage to the blushing Duke save her? You can find the first part link in the pinned comment and description. Now, back to the recap. Next scene. The shop owner speaks. Your Grace, Grand Duchess, it is an honor to serve you. Annette tells her, I came here because I heard this is the most famous dress shop in the north. Tomorrow is the day I will be formally greeting the knights for the first time, so I wanted to gift them some handkerchiefs. The shop owner replies, of course, please wait just a moment. After that, she tells her, please choose anything you desire, I can create any style you wish. Annette asks, how many knights does Blenheim have? The knight replies, excluding the divisions that are currently on a mission, there are 99 total knights participating in tomorrow's training. Annette thinks, 100? They are not just soldiers, how can there be so many knights? Then she says, making 99 handkerchiefs in a single day would be possible. The shop owner asks, did you say 99? Annette continues, as you know, I am not exactly a welcomed Grand Duchess, I suppose I got ahead of myself. Wanting to make a good impression on the knights, I made an unreasonable request, so please just forget about it. The knight tells her, Your Grace, how about we divide the order across several dress shops? There are a few others within Gold Lane. Annette replies, it is a gift for the Knight Order, I can't prepare it so haphazardly, it has to be from Couture, the best dress shop in the north. The shop owner thinks, just now, she called Couture the best in the north. Then she speaks, Your Grace, do you have a specific embroidery in mind? Annette replies, I do have something in mind, something like this. The shop owner comments, I will give it a try. Annette asks, really? Will that even be possible? The shop owner states, I will show you the absolute finest handkerchiefs in the north. The shop servants are chatting, this is a big job, 99 in a single day. Annette says, thank you so much, everyone, as long as you meet the deadline, I will pay double the quoted price. The servants reply, we will prepare them so you won't be disappointed. The next day, the knights speak, we greet Your Grace, the Grand Duchess. Annette states, I finally get to meet the knights who protected Blenheim, it is a bit late, but I am happy to meet you all. The knights think, a goddess, she is so beautiful, is that what the goddess of spring would look like if she appeared before us? Annette says, Your Grace, it is nothing grand, but I have prepared a small gift to help me learn everyone's faces, may I distribute them myself? The Duke replies, go ahead. Annette starts distributing the gifts. The Duke thinks, how does she know the knights' names? Don't tell me. She stayed up all night wrapping each gift one by one and wrote the knights' names herself. The knights are chatting, it is the crest and symbol of Blenheim. Another says, my embroidery is blue. The third one tells him, mine is red. So they are color-coded by knight division, she must have put so much thought into ordering each one. Annette tells him, Your Grace, I have handed out all the gifts for the knights. The Duke thinks, is it my turn now? He replies, you have worked hard. Annette continues, now that the greetings are over, I shall take my leave first, I hope you all finish the rest of your training well. The Duke thinks, what about me, is there really nothing, am I really the only one who did not receive one? Annette asks, by the way, Your Grace, why have you not been wearing a cravat since yesterday? It is chilly in the morning and evening, should I have someone bring you a cravat? No, the Duke replies, here it is. Annette comments, wait, you had one all this time, so why were you not wearing it? Give it to me. The knights think, to think the commander is allowing someone to touch him so casually, he must get along very well with Her Grace, the Duchess, but wasn't Her Grace famous for being the villainess of the capital? There is no way someone that lovely could be a villainess. Next scene, Annette speaks, it is not nighttime yet, so it is okay for me to come with you. The Duke replies, come. Annette continues, I just stopped by because I have something to give you, this is for Your Grace. The Duke asks, there was one for me as well. Annette states, of course, it is a gift for the Knight Order, so how could we leave out the commander? It is pretty, isn't it? Yours is special. Made with gold thread, you don't like it? The Duke replies, no, I like it, I will use it well, thank you. Annette thinks, what is with this ambiguous reaction? Well, as long as he does not hate it, I guess it is fine. She asks, Your Grace, can I read a book here until you are finished with your work? The Duke thinks, it is newlyweds' day today, I see. He replies, please read comfortably, I will have some tea prepared. Annette asks, when did you have this placed here? The Duke tells her, I am not sure. Perhaps the aide brought it. Annette emphasizes, I see. Having a desk here makes it so much more comfortable, Sir Pearl seems very thoughtful. The Duke thinks, I am Blade, I told him to put it here. After some time, Annette thinks, I am sleepy. I guess it is because I stayed up all night preparing the gifts for the knights. I have handled countless VIP customer appreciation events before I was reincarnated, so I thought this would be a piece of cake. I overlooked the fact that there are no printers in this world, hand copying, decorating, tying ribbons. After doing all that work throughout the night, it would be odd if I was not sleepy. The Duke thinks, I was wondering why it was so quiet. He says, Duchess, go to your room and sleep. He thinks, this feels nice, I want to send her back without waking her, but if she gets hurt when I carry her, should I call someone? No, then some other guy would have to carry her. I can't stand the thought of that. It will be okay, I can do this. Unlike last time, when he only felt a sense of peace, he now feels an intense sensation, a sense of fullness that can't be compared to just holding her hand. The Duke thinks, I am going crazy. After that, the Duke looks at her wedding ring, then he remembers Annette saying, the feel of the ring Sir Perel put on my finger is still fresh on my mind. The Duke thinks, what an idiot, I should have just gone to the wedding myself. Anyway, the earrings. I wonder if they are uncomfortable for her. They should be fine. They only touch her a little. Yesterday morning, I waited for the Grand Duchess in front of the bedroom for a while. I did not mean that she should not come see me at all. Was I too harsh, saying something like that with that expression? She was probably scared. Still, she will probably show up for breakfast. After she kept insisting, I ate breakfast, but I could not focus on my work. Was I too harsh on that delicate young lady? Suddenly, a maid comes and speaks, Your Grace, my apologies, I thought the room was empty. I brought some warm water. The Duke states, leave it and get out. Then he thinks, after yelling at the Grand Duchess not to visit me at night, I ended up getting caught sleeping right next to her. How pathetic. The next morning, Annette thinks, this is my room. I remember reading a book in the study yesterday. A maid comes and asks, you are awake. Annette says, do you happen to know how I got back to my bedroom yesterday? She thinks, what is with that sly look? The maid then replies, His Highness the Grand Duke checked on you while you were sleeping. Annette thinks, what, the Grand Duke? No wonder, he even went out of his way to take off that tiny thing. I don't even tidy things up that neatly when I am sober. How did he carry me all the way here? In a princess carry? No way. He probably just slung me over his shoulder like a sack of potatoes. Either way, it is so embarrassing I could die. How could I have possibly slept through it all? Annette asks, by the way, where is the Grand Duke? The maid replies, I heard he had to go out and won't be back until late this week. Annette thinks, I was worried it might be awkward if I ran into him, so that is a relief. Still, without the Grand Duke around, what am I supposed to do all day? What to do? Have some tomato stew, of course. Next scene. The lady says, I am sorry, Your Grace, we don't have any private rooms, so I always end up seating you in this corner. Annette replies, not at all. I am the one who asked for it so I would not disturb the other customers. I still think your stew is the most delicious thing in this world. I am not just saying that. Even the head chef at the Grand Ducal Estate can't make stew as good as yours. And I can't just come here every time I am craving it. The lady asks, shall I write the recipe for you now? Annette replies, the recipe? Is it really okay to just give me your secret recipe? The lady tells her, it is not much of a secret, every family just makes it a little differently. Annette thinks, I feel like I am always in your debt, madam. This feels a bit shameless of me. Isn't there something I can do to help? For the heart of Blenheim, there are not many travelers around. It seems like most people come here to eat, not to stay the night. Annette asks, there don't seem to be many guests staying here, is it the off-season? Lady Mary replies, Blenheim does not really have an on or off season. It is just not a place many travelers visit to begin with. Still, thanks to the lunch crowd, we are managing for now. Annette thinks, managing, is this really okay? Her cooking is so good, it is a shame she does not have more customers. Why didn't I think of that? After that, Annette thinks, I am so glad I thought of this before leaving the inn. I really wanted to do something for Madame Marie. Then she remembers when she whispered, have you ever thought about making some and selling them? She thinks, of course, it is completely up to her whether she wants to or not. The butler speaks, you have arrived, Your Grace, Madame Lamondria is here. His Grace, the Grand Duke, said that since this season is changing soon, you should be fitted for new clothes. Annette thinks, has the Grand Duke always been this considerate? He always wears clothes with a similar design. I thought he was not interested in things like that. Or could it be that my dress looked too shabby? On the other hand, the aide gives him the report, Your Grace, are you perhaps thinking of Her Grace, the Grand Duchess? The Duke replies, what are you talking about? The aide continues, I only ask because there is no way you would be smiling over a report. The Duke states, "You have grown quite bold since the Grand Duchess arrived. I was merely wondering whether the Grand Duchess's fitting went well." The aide thinks, so he was thinking about the Grand Duchess. Then he asks, "But did you truly summon Cowter?" The Duke replies, "Why, is there a problem? You were the one who said the Grand Duchess appeared to be in need of proper clothing." Last night, the Duke says, "I should increase the Grand Duchess's discretionary budget." The aide asks, "Yes, may I ask why?" The Duke replies, "It seems necessary." He thinks, "I thought she would use her discretionary funds on things like jewels. But the first thing she bought with that money was a gift for the knights. The more I learn about her, the more thoughtful she seems." The aide thinks, "You are thinking about her Grace again." He asks, "Will the discretionary budget be enough? I saw the luggage her Grace brought with her. She seemed to be lacking in both clothes and accessories, and most of the clothes she brought were quite modest." The Duke thinks, "I had not really paid attention. I always thought she looked beautiful in anything she wore." He says, "Then I will allocate a separate budget for the Grand Duchess's wardrobe." The aide tells him, however, her Grace is still unfamiliar with Blenheim, and without an attendant, there is no one who can properly guide her to reputable dressmakers. The Duke thinks, "What should I do?" Leon comes and asks, "Are you referring to a famous dressmaker among the ateliers used by noble women?" Cowter is the most renowned. The handkerchiefs her Grace gifted us were also from Cowter. The Duke thinks, "Every single time. Why do they all know more about the Grand Duchess than I do?" The Duke replies, "Very well, I will ask for the Grand Duchess's preference first, then summon Cowter." Leon tells him, "But Commander, this is essentially a gift for her Grace. Wouldn't it be better to present it to her in a more meaningful way?" The Duke replies, "I am merely arranging for a dressmaker." The aide tells him, "Your Grace, imagine it for a moment. Just picture how delighted her Grace would be if it were a surprise gift." The Duke thinks, "The grand success, would she really be happy?" Now back in the present time, the aide comments, "You know how noble women can be with their wording. She might interpret summoning a dressmaker as a criticism of her clothing." The Duke asks, "What? Criticize her attire? Me? If the Grand Duchess is displeased in any way, just remember neither of you will get off easy." After that, the Duke thinks, "The butler is here. Is the Grand Duchess waiting for me?" It seems she was quite pleased with the surprise gift I prepared. It is late, so inviting her to my room would be improper, but a simple cup of tea should be fine. I will wash up and change as fast as I can. The butler speaks, "Sir Leon, her Grace asks that you stop by before returning to your quarters." The Duke asks, "What is the meaning of this?" He thinks, "She was waiting for Leon instead of me." The Duke continues, "The Grand Duchess wanted to see Leon. What could she want with him?" The butler replies, "She did not state her reason." The aide speaks, "You should go and see what is going on. While you are at it, you should casually ask her Grace if she liked her gift." The Duke states, "Don't you dare say a single word." After that, Annette speaks, "You must be tired. Did I call you too late?" Leon replies, "Not at all. How could I possibly be tired? I have come to see you, Your Grace." Annette thinks, "You don't look so good." Well, technically this is just like a summon from my boss after work hours. No, wait, it is a summons from my boss's wife. Then she asks, "Would you give this to Madame Marie?" It is okay to open it. Madame Marie gave me her tomato stew recipe. It is just a small token of my appreciation. Leon replies, "Thank you, Your Grace. I will be sure to deliver it." Annette thinks, "I spent half my emergency fund on it, but for that tomato stew, it was worth it." She asks, "By any chance, is the inn's business struggling?" Leon replies, "Yes. We don't get many travelers, and the location is not very good, but please don't worry. We are not about to go bankrupt." Annette thinks, "The food is good enough. They just need better marketing. With just a little promotion, word would surely spread." I almost stuck my nose where it does not belong again. I have my own problems to deal with. I'd better stay out of it. She asks, "By any chance, has the Grand Duke returned to the castle?" Leon replies, "He just returned, Your Grace. He does not have anything else scheduled for this evening, and he seems to have plenty of free time." Annette thinks, "It is late, but maybe I should ask him for tea. I have something to show him too." After some time, Annette thinks, "I made a rushed request, but the butler prepared it well. It is 50-50 whether the Grand Duke will show up. He is softer-hearted than he looks, but other times he can be so cold. Still, he only said not to visit him at night, not that we could not meet at all. Surely he would not actually stand me up, would he? If he does not come, I will just drink it myself." The Duke comes and asks, "Have you been waiting long?" Annette replies, "You could have taken your time. Did you run here? I hope I did not suddenly call you out while you were resting." The Duke tells her, it is fine, I was just about to have some tea myself. Annette thinks, how strange, just looking at the Grand Duke's face melts away all my fatigue, let's be honest here. In this boring reincarnation life, the Grand Duke is my one ray of light. The Duke asks, why did you call for Leon separately earlier? Annette replies, it was nothing important. The Duke continues, is that so, just Leon, without me, the two of you alone? Annette thinks, don't tell me he has been stewing over this the whole time. She replies, so, what happened was, and then she tells him the whole story. The Duke asks, do you like tomato stew? Annette replies, yes, enough that I could eat it all week, more importantly, do you notice anything different about me? The Duke asks, what do you mean, different? Annette explains, exactly what I said, don't you notice anything different about me? The Duke thinks, she is beautiful, but the Grand Duchess always is. Annette tells him, come on, what do you think, it is a dress my husband gave me as a gift. She thinks, he is probably going to get all flustered at the word, husband, again. The Duke states, it suits you well. Annette replies, thank you, she thinks, why am I suddenly so thirsty? Then she asks, why did you suddenly call for the dressmaker, was it because my wardrobe was not up to Blenheim standards? The Duke emphasizes, of course not, absolutely not. Annette comments, thank you, I ended up having a ton of clothes made thanks to you, but this is a gift, right, you are not going to send me the bill later and change your mind. Why are you laughing? I really bought a lot, what if you have to sell a castle? The Duke states, I will absolutely not change my mind, please accept it freely, it is a gift meant only for you. Annette thinks, my heart has been acting strange for a while now. She says, it is a little warm, it must be because we are in the greenhouse. The Duke speaks, shall we take a short walk, I will give you a tour. After that, Annette thinks, his arm is so firm. Then he says, so this is the previous Grand Duchess's greenhouse. The Duke replies, yes, though it has been closed ever since she passed away. Annette comments, I am sorry, if I had known, I would not have asked you to open it. The Duke tells her, it is fine, it was only closed because no one came or went, more importantly, there is a place I would like to show you, how about this? Annette states, wow, amazing. The Duke explains, it is Nephris, my mother was very fond of it. Annette tells him, it is so beautiful. The Duke asks, if you like it, shall I have a bouquet made to decorate your room? Annette emphasizes, no, it would be a shame to pick them just to watch them wilt. I am happy just looking at them. The Duke states, then I will keep the greenhouse open, they will bloom until midsummer, so please come to see them whenever you wish. Annette replies, thank you, she thinks, somehow, the mood feels different, then she says, your cravat has come loose, even the Duke has to admit it looks much better when I am the one tying it, doesn't it? The Duke replies, yes. Annette asks, wouldn't it be nice if I could come and do this for you every morning? The Duke replies, yes, then asks, what? No, Annette speaks, if anyone heard us, they would think I was implying we sleep together or something. The Duke comments, please don't say things like that. Annette continues, you said you don't like me coming at night, that is why I said I will come in the morning. The Duke tells her, there is no need to promise that, you can just come once in a while if you think of it. Annette emphasizes, but what if I want to tie it every single day? The Duke replies, I think I would end up waiting for too much. Annette thinks, what? He is worried he would wait for me every morning if we made a promise. Is it okay for the Duke to be this cute? The Duke tells her, you would find it bothersome. Annette states, no, just the thought of you waiting for me makes me happy, and as for me, rather than a perfect husband, I want one who needs my hand. You are too cute today, too. Duke, a cute, needy husband is so much better. The Duke tells her, then let's just go back now, the cravat. Do whatever you like with it, anyway, I am sure you will do whatever you want in the end, won't you? Annette asks, how did you know? On the other hand, Ferdinand thinks, that is a letter from Annette, then he reads the letter, brother, I heard you attended my wedding, I could not greet you directly, but I hope you understand, it must already be spring in the capital. Spring is slowly arriving in Blenheim as well. Ferdinand remember, before the wedding, the person said, your sister came to sell some jewels, it did not seem like she knew this information guild belongs to you. Ferdinand replies, give her a bit more money. Just enough so she does not notice, he thinks, is she trying to leave without telling father? Now back in the present time, Ferdinand burns the letter, he thinks, I already sent her our mother's keepsake, so now it does not matter how she lives her life, it is not like we were ever that close. A servant comes and tells him, young master, the Marquis is calling for you. After that, the Marquis states, "How dare you burn the letter from Blenheim without proper verification? Do you take me, the head of the house, for a fool?" Ferdinand replies, "It was just a letter thanking you for attending the wedding, nothing more." The Marquis tells him, "That is for me to decide. How can the next heir be so utterly thoughtless?" Ferdinand comments, "Just forget about Annette. That weak girl can't be of any use to this family, no matter what she does in the ducal castle." The Marquis states, "Now you are trying to lecture your father." Ferdinand replies, "I only meant that you should not dwell on things that are already over." The Marquis thinks, "Lately, he never listens to me, ever since that lowborn girl left." Then he says, "Enough, leave me." The Marquis thinks, "It is all in the past, the security at the ducal castle is too high. I have sent people several times, but no one has ever succeeded in sneaking in. Except for Annette. This is my chance. Until now, I had no excuse, but if Annette was the one who sent a letter first, that changes everything. I will have to write a letter to Blenheim." Next scene, Annette speaks, "There, all done." The Duke tells her, "Sorry, I can't join you for a meal today." Annette replies, "It is fine. I was planning to visit Sir Norton and Madame Marie's inn anyway." The Duke comments, "All right, but I will be back before dinner. Why are you smiling?" Annette tells him, "Because it feels like we are a real married couple." The Duke states, "We are a real married couple. We are not a fake couple, are we? The documents are real too." Annette replies, "Well, that is true." The Duke thinks, after all that fuss about not wanting to pretend to be a wife, she sure adapted quickly. Annette asks, "Shall we go see Madame Marie now?" Then she thinks, "Should I ask them to make the tomato stew spicier today?" Then a knight asks, "Can't you speak properly? I asked where you stole it from." The child replies, "No, I did not steal it." Annette asks, "What is going on here? Why are you treating this child so roughly?" The knight replies, "Your Grace, this girl. It seems she stole something belonging to her Grace." Annette thinks, it is unmistakable. This is the practice stationery. She thought there was nothing important in the letter, but having a document from the Grand Duke's castle leaked outside is another matter. Marquis freeze. Or is it someone else trying to dig into me? The knight states, "What organization sent you? Are you a spy?" The child replies, "What do you mean? I was just curious about the castle." The knight tells her, it would be best to confess honestly. The knights have the right to dispose of any threat within the castle on the spot. A maid comes and shouts, "I give up that stationery. I am the one who gave it to her." Next scene, Annette thinks, I think she looked familiar, to think she was Retta's younger sister. Then she says, "Now, please explain, tell me what happened." Suddenly, the head maid comes and speaks, "Excuse my intrusion, Your Highness, I am Marcella, the head maid. I was told that one of our maids caused you some trouble over an unfortunate matter." Annette thinks, the head maid. Then she remembers when she asked, "Are those the maids? Where are they going?" The butler replied, "It seems they are heading to the West Annex for the day. Female servants are not permitted to stay in the main building after work hours." Now back in the present time, the head maid speaks, "It is my responsibility for failing to filter out a maid with sticky fingers. I will punish her severely to ensure this never happens again. Drag her over here." Annette states, "Wait, what do you think you are doing?" She thinks, the head maid entered the Grand Duchess's room without permission, and now she is jumping to conclusions before I have even said anything. She is looking down on me. Then she says, "I will decide this child's punishment after I have heard her story." The head maid replies, "Managing the maids is my jurisdiction, therefore, I must ask Your Highness to respect my role." Annette thinks, even if I am only in a contract relationship with the Grand Duke, publicly am I not still the Grand Duchess? Does she just see me as some young lady who is ignorant of the ways of the world? Or is it because, as the rumors say, I am not the daughter of a powerful marquis and not a Grand Duchess who can actually wield any power? Annette states, "Respect, are you daring to challenge me, the mistress of this house?" She thinks, there is a limit to how much you can underestimate someone. The head maid replies, "Of course not. I simply ask that you do not negate the work this old woman has done her entire life." Annette comments, "What a funny way you have with words, butler, who has the authority to manage the maids." She thinks, I have dealt with the worst of the worst clients. I have plenty of reference material from those nightmare clients. The butler replies, "It is, of course, the Grand Duchess, the mistress of the castle." Annette asks, "So is it right for a mere head maid to dare tell me not to overstep my bounds?" The butler replies, "It does not seem to be a very appropriate remark." The head maid says, "That is not what I mean, it is just that before Your Highness was here." Annette states, "Now I am here, so let's dispense with the old stories. Did you perhaps come here to have a power struggle with me?" The head maid replies, "My apologies, how could I possibly dare?" Annette tells her, "Be silent when I am speaking." She thinks, "How do you like a taste of an ad agency client from Hell Power Trip?" Then she says, "If you understand, you may leave. From now on, do not recklessly open my door without permission." Someone who calls herself the head maid should at least observe basic etiquette. After that, Annette thinks, "Was I a bit like a villainess? I was planning to live quietly and then leave, but what is this? I have gone and made an enemy of the head maid already. Well, I guess it will be fine." Then she asks, "Will you tell me your story?" On the other hand, the maids are chatting. How can she be so shameless? I doubt she even spent her first night with him. Yet she is acting like the mistress. Honestly, since coming to the castle, she has not done anything noteworthy, has she? Compared to her, think of the years our head maid has dedicated to this castle. The head maid states, "Enough, don't be so loud. It is undignified," she thinks. "I underestimated her. I thought she was just a grand duchess who would only be here for a short while." She says, "This won't do. I must report this situation to her." Next scene, Annette thought, "So this is the drawing that child made. Her skill is better than I expected." The reason the maid stole the stationery. She wanted to give her little sister some paper to draw on. She remembered the maid speaking, "I am sorry, Your Grace. I only thought it would be a waste since the back was blank." Annette commented, "So that is why you took a letter I wrote in private." She thought a maid of the ducal estate should not be so underpaid that she can't buy paper. The maid continued, "I was not thinking straight. I assumed it was not important." Annette thought, "No matter the reason, leaking a ducal letter is a serious crime. What do I do?" The child spoke, "Your Grace, my sister only did it for me, so please punish me instead." The maid told her, "Get up already, you did nothing wrong." Annette stated, "Enough, I get the gist. Would you like to draw something for me?" Now, back in the present time, Annette thought, "I am exhausted. I did not even get to stay at Lady Mary Inn. What a day. Still, it was not for nothing. That kid should really become an illustrator. I am sure someone could use talent like hers. Maybe I thought too much. I am feeling a bit dizzy. I need to see my duke. I will just lie down for a moment." Then she saw in the dream a knight who shouted, "Execute the criminal." Annette freeze. Annette thought, "What? Why am I here? I am scared. Someone please help me." The person came and stated, "How foolish. Who else is there to blame? This will be your final chance." The next moment, she woke up. The Duke asked, "Are you all right? I was going to let you rest longer, but you seem to be having a nightmare, so I woke you." Annette thought, "Now that I think of it, I dreamt about something." The Duke asked, "You slept through the whole day, are you all right?" Annette said, "I slept all day." The Duke continued, "The doctor said it was a bad cold." Annette thought, "So he took care of me himself. The Duke took care of me." The Duke commented, "It might be my fault. My curse might be affecting Your Grace." Annette stated, "It is because I was too active." The Duke told her, "I know there is not much to do in the north. You don't have to make excuses for it." Annette emphasized, "That is not true. There are tons of fun stuff. You can tour the village, go shopping in the market, eat tomato stew. Your Grace, I like it here. I braced to be hated for a whole year, but Blenheim has been nothing but enjoyable." The Duke asked, "Who would ever hate you?" Annette replied, "You rejected marriage proposals over and over." The Duke told her, "Back then, I was in the wrong. You are now the Duchess of Blenheim. Who would dare hate you? If anyone ever displeases the Duchess, tell me." Annette asked, "And if I do, you will scold them?" The Duke replied, "Yes, I will scold them. Now, rest a bit more. The doctor said you should not overdo it." Annette thought, "So this is how my people marry." After that, the Duke asked, "Have you figured out why the Duchess feels ill?" The doctor explained everything. The Duke asked, "Nothing is wrong?" The doctor replied, "Yes, aside from a bit of anemia, there is no major issue." The Duke commented, "She fainted even though she is not sick." The doctor told him, "The noble ladies of the capital often do, if their dresses fit a bit too perfectly, or if they are strangled." The Duke said, "So she is that delicate?" The butler replied, "I will take closer attention to her Grace's health from now on." The doctor continued, "It seems she has had a lot to adjust to in this new environment. I will prescribe medicine. What matters most is making sure she eats well and rests." The Duke thought, why did she not say anything if she is that frail, if she collapses while wandering around the estate with that fragile body, and if something happens to Annette while I am gone? The butler spoke, "It seems her Grace's maid caused a bit of trouble this time. She secretly took her Grace's letter, and her Grace even had to deal with the head maid over it. She resolved it well, but I worry it may have been stressful." The Duke thought, If only someone had been by her side to help her. Then he said, "We need to hire maids for the ducal estate." Next morning, Annette asked, "What is this?" The Duke replied, "Maid candidates, I thought you might need them." Annette thought, "Maid candidates, I thought you would not care until I asked, he is surprisingly delicate." The Duke told her, "I narrowed it down mostly to noble ladies from our vassal families, especially the young lady of the Abor estate. Her family has served the Blenheim house loyally for a long time, keeping her close would be a great help to you." Annette thought, Mysel Abor, I did not expect to see that name here, in the Duke's temper in the palace girl. She is the childish young lady who pines after the Grand Duke. In the latter part of the story, she torments Constance and leaves Blenheim as a late-stage villainess. In the original, Mysel and I would never have crossed paths, but because I am here, we are bound to meet. The Duke continued, "If you have any other requirements, I will keep looking." Annette replied, "This is enough, thank you so much." She thought, things are definitely turning out differently from the original. Maybe, just like with the Grand Duke, I might even get along with Mysel. 4 days later, Annette thought, "But I am finally escaping the bed." The doctor said to rest, but I did not think he would literally keep me from leaving the bed. If the Grand Duke had not kept me company every time he had a break, I would not have survived it. Suddenly, she heard a voice, "You even greeted the night order, did you not?" Annette looked at them. Mysel asked, "Don't tell me that woman is planning to settle here permanently." The head maid replied, "I don't know that much." Annette thought, that head maid and the one beside her is. Mysel asked, "Who?" Annette thought, that is Mysel Abor, what is she doing here? The head maid spoke, "Your Grace, Grand Duchess." Mysel spoke, "It is an honor to meet you, I am Mysel Abor." Annette replied, "So you are the daughter of the Abor estate." Mysel continued, "I did not expect your Grace to know our family." Annette asked, "But what brings you to the castle?" Mysel replied, "My father sent me on an errand, and I lost my way. I happened to meet the head maid, and she was helping me. More importantly, are you all right, your Grace?" Annette replied, "What do you mean?" Mysel commented, "I heard you have been managing without a single maid. How lonely and inconvenient that must have been. His Grace is so careless, how could I allow you to be all alone like this?" Annette thought, what is she talking about? The Grand Duke treats me incredibly well. Mysel spoke, "It feels so surreal to see you in person. I have heard so much about your Grace since I was young." Annette asked, "What do you mean by that? Are you talking about the reputation I earned as the fake saint?" Mysel replied, "No way, I would not." The head maid thought, of all things to bring up, she is trying to pick a fight. Does she want to stir up her anger and ruin the Grand Duchess's reputation? Annette stated, "Fine, so you did not mean it that way." The head maid escorted the young lady outside. There is nothing good about letting an outsider wander around the castle. Mysel spoke, "She is just going to let me leave without getting angry." Annette thought, Mysel really is cunning. If this were the original Annette, she would have exploded. Any mention of the fake saint title is very devastating to Annette. She may have been a short-lived villainous side character, but there is not a single imperial citizen who does not know the name Annette Fries. On the day the moon fades for the last time, the third star born beneath a noble destiny shall save the darkness with sacred light, and the one hailed as the saint of the first prophecy in decades was me, Annette Fries. In the past, at the birth of a new saint, the emperor personally offered his congratulations. Everyone in the empire celebrated Annette's birth, and word that a saint had been born spread even to neighboring countries, but it was not long before the Marquis sensed that something was wrong. No matter how he looked at her, his third child, now the saint, showed not a single resemblance to him. The Marquis became certain his wife had been unfaithful, but with his wife already dead from the strain of childbirth, there was no way to uncover the truth. Worse yet, even as time passed, Annette failed to manifest any divine power. In the year Annette turned 10, rumors spread that a girl from the slums had performed a miracle. It was the appearance of Constance, the true saint, certified by the high priest. I am sure Mysel already knows how I was branded a fake saint who deceived the empire. I wanted to see you in a good light, but I can't. Anyway, who should I pick as my maid? I read through the candidate list carefully, but it is hard to decide based on family and resume alone. To make a proper judgment, I suppose interviews are the way to go. I should arrange a tea time meeting. After that, Annette asked, "Has everyone been well?" Leon replied, "We were just talking about your Grace. We all came back after eating today's menu." The other one also said, "From Marie Inn." She kept praising it, saying your Grace taught her the method. Annette thought, that reminds me of when I went to the inn last time. Then she remembered Marie's spicy tomato stew really is the best, but there were not any customers again today. All the ingredients she stocked up are piling up in storage. Marie came and spoke. Your Grace even gave me such a lovely brooch. Thank you so much. I will treasure it as a family heirloom forever. Annette spoke. By the way, madam, may I make a suggestion? How about selling a today's menu at the inn? You set a dish of the day and hang it up in the shop. When customers order the today's menu, you offer it at a discount or give them something extra. Some people like me specifically want tomato stew, but many don't have a preference. The today's menu is a recommended dish for those people. Marie commented. Someone might come in out of curiosity and end up becoming a regular. Annette told her. Exactly. And if you focus on selling the daily menu, you can reduce ingredient preparation. That will stop stocks from piling up like this. Marie asked. How did your Grace even come up with this idea? Annette thought. I may not look it now, but I used to be a marketing expert. Now, back in the present time, Annette thought. I almost forgot. It looks like Marie started selling the daily menu. Leon told her. The response has been great. Every customer who visited ordered it. Annette asked. So the inn has more customers now? Leon replied. Maybe a few more. The location is not that good. It will probably take time for word to spread. Annette asked. Then what if you put a menu board right in front of the inn? Leon replied. I doubt it would help much. A lot of people can't read. Annette stated. That does not matter. They don't need to read. I have already got something in mind. On the other hand, Maisel thought the Grand Duchess's gentle invitation to tea time was gladly accepted by her. Then she shouted. So annoying. You should have told me they were looking for a maid. Then I would not have said any of that. The head maid replied. I only heard the news late myself. Maisel shouted. Quiet. For someone who became head maid, you are absolutely useless. Why won't His Grace just throw that woman out? The head maid told her. I imagine he is being cautious because of the Marquis family. Since things have come this far, why not show everyone who really holds power in Blenheim, rather than trying to win the Grand Duchess's favor now? Wouldn't it be more effective to show your influence within Blenheim's social circles? Maisel stated. Well, that is true. The Grand Duchess is just an outsider who rolled in. I should meet the maid candidates she is likely to choose before she does. The head maid said. The tea time should turn out interesting. Maisel thought. I have to become her maid. As long as I can just meet His Grace, as long as he remembers that day, he will definitely fall for me, because we share a past that no one else knows. Next morning, Annette asked. All of this. What is it exactly? 5 whole wagons of desserts. The head chef introduced himself, then said. You asked me to come up with desserts suitable for tea time, so I prepared these. Annette asked. Did I put too much pressure on you? The head chef replied. Pressure? Not at all. I am only delighted to finally have a chance to show my true skills. Annette commented. Don't you prepare His Grace's and my meals every day? The head chef replied. His Grace has absolutely zero interest in food. He only looks for dishes he can finish quickly. Annette thought. Well, his reputation does precede him. Then she said. You must have had a rough time. The head chef told her. Still, ever since Your Highness arrived, His Grace has changed quite a bit. He told us to add plenty of fruit to the desserts. I heard that was a direct request from Your Highness. He said the Grand Duchess enjoys fruit. Annette thought. No way. He gave that order because of what I said at that time. Why is he this gentle with me? Annette spoke. Thanks to you. Tea time has become so much more pleasant. I will be counting on you from here on. The head chef emphasized. Of course. I promise you won't be disappointed. Annette said. First, we should make sure this tea time goes well. How are the refreshments usually arranged? The head chef replied. We normally place everything on the center table, and everyone helps themselves. Annette explained. In that case, for this tea time, prepare individual sets. There are 9 of us, including myself, so prepare 1 per person. On the other hand, the Duke spoke. We are short on time if we want to get to the upper level. Suddenly, the aide spoke. Your Grace, I think we forgot the upper level passage permit. The Duke asked. What? The aide replied. I am sorry. I will return to the office. He thought. We are already short on time. I am going to get scolded. The Duke told him. Go back and get it. I will wait here. The aide thought. His Grace said it gently and even smiled. That definitely means he is furious. He said. I will be right back. The Duke continued. No, take your time coming back. The aide shouted. No, I won't. I will hurry. After that, the aide thought. Where did I put the permit? Did I leave it in the drawer? Then he came back and thought. Did he go ahead to the conference room? Then he thought. His Grace was there. Annette asked. Food you can eat quickly. What even is that? The Duke replied. I don't know. My memory is a bit. Annette asked. What about your actual favorite food? Is there really nothing? The Duke replied, I do like fruit. Annette commented, then would you like to have a strawberry cake with me tonight? The Duke told her, I would. I suppose I will have to finish training early today. The aide thought, he told me to take my time, and yet, so he really did see the Grand Duchess, but His Grace, has he ever received anyone's words that gently, and earlier in the study too? Is that not the wrapping from the handkerchief the Grand Duchess gifted him? He even kept the ribbon neatly preserved. I thought their marriage was nothing but a political arrangement. Is Her Highness opening the heart of the coldest and most unapproachable man in the world? Yes, she truly is. It seems His Grace is experiencing the first spring of his life. Then, at night, Annette asked, you said the painting is finished. Quick hands are nice, but this is not what I am looking for. May I make a few adjustments? Marina replied, of course. The aide asked, what kind of picture is it that she is taking so seriously? Leon replied, it is a very important drawing. The drawing is today's menu. Annette thought, it is realistic, but it does not really whet the appetite. If I add just a bit more detail, it will be much better. It feels a little awkward doing it myself. I will try to revive my old experience designing promotional materials. After some time, Annette asked, done. Looks pretty convincing, right? What do you think? The aide said, it really feels like the food is right in front of me. Leon also commented, if a picture like this were posted, anyone would want to come in. Annette asked, do you see where I put the emphasis? Marina replied, yes, Your Grace. Annette said, good, try doing the rest like this too. Marina told her, I will give it a try. The Duke was outside the room, listening. Next scene. A lady said, honey, look at that. Today's menu. It looks like it is coming out of the picture. A person spoke, that drumstick looks really appetizing. I wonder what it tastes like. Marie came and asked, is this your first time at our inn? If you order the today's menu, we will give you dessert on the house. Today, you can choose between milk pudding and apple pie. The person asked, shall we go in and try it? The lady replied, sure. When they entered the inn, the lady spoke, this place must be quite a hot spot. There are a lot of customers. That young lady sitting over there. She is dressed plainly, but there is an air of half nobility about her face. On the other hand, the captain spoke, reporting to you, Commander, is not today the day the castle gets open for tea time? We moved training to the morning in case it got crowded. However, are you really going to tea time like that? The Duke asked, what are you talking about? Why would I go there? The captain told him, you don't mean to say you don't know, when a lady holds her first tea time, it is customary for her husband to stop by and greet everyone, asking them to look kindly on her. The other knights spoke, I attended my wife's first tea time as well. Another commented, I could not attend because of a campaign, and my wife was terribly upset. The Duke thought, I did not know there was such a custom. She might be secretly expecting it. What should I do? Next scene. Cecilia thought, the castle is really huge. I wonder how boring today will be. Writing about the Grand Duchess's castle would be off limits. Why does Meisel hate me so much? Annette came and spoke, thank you all for attending. Please sit comfortably. Cecilia thought, they say she is a notorious villainess, but she is much more charming than I expected. Annette continued, I heard quite a few of you came from far away. Was the journey here uncomfortable? Cecilia thought, what is this? The Grand Duchess is speaking. Why is the atmosphere like this? Don't tell me. What scheme did Meisel pull this time? Annette thought no one was answering, as if someone had ordered them to keep their mouths shut. Meisel said, well, it was fine. This year, the ground thawed early, so the roads were easy for the carriages. Annette stated, bring out the tea. Meisel thought, bring out as much as you like. No one will dare touch the tea set the Grand Duchess puts out. Just watch. I will show them exactly how much influence I have in high society. The maid spoke, I will prepare the tea and desserts. Meisel thought, what is this? It is not buffet style, then my plan won't work. Cecilia said, wow, it was my first time seeing individual tea trays. She thought, as expected, it looks like she instructed them not to touch the refreshments at all, but with individual servings, it will be obvious how much each person eats. Will they really be able to resist? Annette told them, everyone, don't feel burdened, please enjoy at your leisure. Cecilia thought, delicious. Annette asked, how is it? The chef put in quite a bit of effort, saying he wanted to surprise you young ladies. The noble women spoke, it is delicious. Another added to the chatting, not only the taste, but the cake is so pretty it feels ashamed to eat it. Another replied, a tart piled high with such fresh fruit, I think I could drink 10 cups of tea. Meisel thought, do you really think I will just sit back and watch? Then she stated, forgive me, Your Grace, I am not sure I may dare to eat these refreshments. Annette asked, what do you mean by that? Mysel replied, I hear fruit is scarce in Blenheim during spring because the roads are constantly blocked by snow. Piling fruit so lavishly onto desserts is a luxury. Perhaps it can't be helped, since I am from the north. Cecilia thought, what nonsense is she spouting, calling it a luxury just because there are a few slices of fruit on a dessert? Annette stated, this is rather awkward. I had no idea the Abor Count's household was in such dire straits. To think you can't eat fruit in spring. It is unimaginable in the capital. Mysel tried to say this was not just a problem unique to the Count's household. Annette continued, and what about you all? Can you not eat fruit? Even at the inn, they were baking pies with fruit. Cecilia replied, we eat it just fine. The other noble ladies told her, these days, it is not that hard to obtain, especially in spring. The supplies are quite ample. Annette stated, is that not so? Then, at least within the Grand Ducal estate, feel free to enjoy yourself, Lady Mysel. Butler, when Lady Mysel leaves, make sure to pack her a generous amount of fruit. Is there perhaps any other young lady who would like some fruit as well? The noble ladies replied, no, your grace. Cecilia thought, as expected, the rumors that she is the capital villainess were certainly true. Without changing her expression at all, she completely crushed Mysel. Annette asked, Sir Norton is your brother? Cecilia replied, yes, that is right, your grace. Annette continued, he is one of the knights I rely on most in Blenheim. Mysel commented, I hear you write something the common folk read. Why not tell your grace about it? What was the name again? Northern Gossip, was it? Cecilia replied, it is Northern News, she thought, bringing up such an embarrassing topic for no reason. Annette spoke, Northern News, I have read it myself. I really enjoyed the column about trends in the capital. Cecilia replied, that article was written by me. Annette spoke, your writing was wonderful. I was just thinking it might be good to include things like recipes in the magazine. Mysel stated, that sounds wonderful. I imagine for servants, is it even appropriate to include things like fashion or trends, including recipes for the maids instead? Annette emphasized, no, I am not being sarcastic, I mean it sincerely. Due to its geography, I hear Blenheim has few opportunities to encounter outside cuisine. If you include a variety of recipes, it will receive a great response. Cecilia thought, it is an idea I would never even have considered. She replied, I will gladly follow your grace's valuable advice. Mysel thought, these people, seriously. Then she said, if it were me, I would have written an article about your grace's wedding. No one in Blenheim has seen the two of you wed. After all, I completely forgot that a proxy attended the wedding. That was a slip of the tongue. The next moment, the Grand Duke came. Annette thought, him, of all places, why is he here? The noble ladies spoke, we greet his grace, the Grand Duke. Annette asked, what brings you here? The Duke replied, since this is the first tea time you have hosted, I stopped by to check if there were any inconveniences, and I wanted to see you as well. Annette replied, I wanted to see you too. The noble ladies thought, wow. Mysel thought, your grace, why would you do something like this in front of me? Annette thought, is it okay to show up like this and move me so much? The Duke spoke, since it is your first time in the north, much of it may feel unfamiliar. Attend her properly at her side. The noble ladies replied, we will serve her with utmost devotion. Mysel said, your grace. Annette thought, what is it? Mysel continued, it is nothing. Annette thought, why is she playing the tragic heroine all by herself again? The Duke told her, Grand Duchess, I should be going now, I have my next engagement. Annette replied, yes, you must be busy, so please go ahead. After that, the noble ladies started chatting, oh my goodness, his grace attended the tea time, how can he be that magnificent? I nearly stopped breathing. He must truly cherish her highness. Annette commented, what, here I thought you all came to see me, but now that I look at it, was his grace the real objective? After some time, Tyrion spoke, reporting my return. All magical beasts appearing along the mountain range border have been dealt with. The Duke replied, I see, good work. Tyrion thought, has the matter with the Grand Duchess already been resolved? I still vividly remember how furious he was when he received the marriage notice. He seems calmer than expected. Then he asked, are you all right? The Duke replied, what is it? Tyrion said, nothing. He thought, no need to stir things up and sour his mood for no reason. Then at night, Tyrion asked, what, you want to become the Grand Duchess's maid? Mysel replied, a maid, my foot, I already failed. Cecilia got the position, I am so embarrassed I can't even lift my head. Tyrion asked, what is there to be embarrassed about? Mysel shouted, everyone will think I lost to someone like her. Tyrion commented, There is no need to cling to such a disgraceful post. The Grand Duchess will be divorced soon enough. Mysel told him, "You don't know, brother, that woman is unbelievably cunning. The knights, the young ladies, everyone has completely fallen for her. They hated her at first, but now there is honey dripping from their eyes. Even his grace has fallen for her completely." Tyrion emphasized, "Commander, he is not someone who would be swayed just because he is bewitched." Mysel told him, "You just don't know the Grand Duchess. You have no idea how nasty she is behind the scenes. She gives even the head maid a hard time. Brother, you must never fall for that woman. You are on my side." Tyrion stated, "You know it too. Even if it kills me, that will never happen. That woman is the daughter of the enemy who caused my father's death." Next scene, the knights are training hard. Annette spoke, "Cecilia, as the Grand Duchess's maid, don't you have any dignity? Why is your mouth hanging open like that?" Cecilia replied, "Just now, even Her Highness was watching with so much focus." Annette thought, "At first, she seemed uncomfortable around me, but now she has gotten used to me." Annette thought, "What is it, this chilly atmosphere?" Cecilia whispered, "That man is from the 9th Night Order, Commander Tyrion Beery. He is also cousins with Mysel." Annette also whispered, "That mad dog of Blenheim, but he feels different from what I heard." Cecilia replied, "Don't be fooled by that face." Tyrion spoke, "We greet your highness." Annette thought, "It has been a while since I have felt such pure hostility. Well, to them, I am the child of their enemy. I heard the 9th Night Order lost many family members during the Magical Beast War, and the one who delayed sending reinforcements back then was my father." Annette spoke, "Pleased to meet you. This is a small token I prepared." She thought, "Well now, how embarrassing on my part, but no matter how hard I try, it can't be helped. There is one thing I decided after possessing this body. I have decided not to care about people who dislike me. After all, as long as I am the villainess of this story, there will always be people who hate me everywhere." Then she said, "I look forward to working with you." Like this video, hit the like button, and subscribe for more videos.